This is Charlie Parsons for Boxing Social in association with Betfred. After chatting for a little while, people mentioning courgettes and words that boxers can't pronounce, I'm sat down with you. Barry, how are you, mate?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. Yeah, I've been sat with Darren Bag and having a good little chin wag, and so looking forward to tomorrow's action.
Well, let's talk a little bit about tomorrow's action. Obviously, it wasn't as planned, this show, obviously, with Lee Wood being having to pull out of the fight, but Eddie kept the card on, nevertheless, and we've got a good fight between Maxie Hughes and Kid Galahad. Just first things first, just your reaction, because I've seen a little bit of the feedback on Twitter. I know Kid Galahad's moving up weight here, but people saying that perhaps still looking a little bit drained on the scales?
Yeah, he did, didn't he? I thought, I'm sure he's in tremendous shape, but I thought he would look a little bit healthier than he did. But, he was a big guy, and you tend to think, how did he make featherweight? That's what you're doing. You look at him now and you see that he looks a bit drained at lightweight. You think, how did he make 9 stone? But I'm sure, especially in the Ingle gym, they've been training fighters for decades. So I'm sure they'll get it right, and come tomorrow night, he'll be fit and healthy and ready to go.
Can you understand the move up to 135? Because I spoke to Lee Selby and he spoke to me about his reasoning from 126 to 135 also. Because those £4 he literally said were pointless. He said you may as well do the £9 up to 135. Do you get that?
Yeah, no, I do. As a small man, I totally understand that situation. I just think it's different horses for course, isn't it? I think that's, some fighters will think that £4 enough breathing space for them, but if you've been really struggling for years, and with age as well, you thicken out a little bit, and it's £9, and that gives you, a better training camp. You still have to make weight because you're still coming down from a weight, but you'll be able to train harder for longer. Yeah.
And then just on to the co-main event. Obviously, Hannah Rankin looks to defend her titles against Terry Harper, who makes a massive step up in weight. She weighed in at 152, I believe. Hannah Rankin coming in 153 something, I think. So both within the limit. We see the female fighters do it. Obviously, Tasha Jonas went up and did it. Do you think a good move for Terry? It also allows her to fluctuate and go back down a little bit if she picks up a win. But Hannah Rankin is a true fighter at that weight. Terry, not so much. She'll be able to go back down. She said maybe a push at 135, but she can defo go down back to 140 or 147. So too much or okay?
We'll find out tomorrow, I guess, for that. But I think the reason that and only in women's boxing can you do it, is because there's maybe not strength in depth, and also some of the champions are also tied up, so they have to go looking for other opportunities, and maybe she sees Hannah as a weaker link. I don't know. I think that would be a mistake. I think Hannah Rankin has been a massively improved fighter over the last couple of years, so I think it's an intriguing fight, isn't it? Because Terry looked fantastic as a super featherweight up until the Baumgartner fight. She looked absolutely fantastic. And Hannah is Hannah Rankin is on a real fantastic run. So you have to make Rankin the favourite because she's the champion and she's the naturally bigger woman. Of course, she's boxed at super middleweight before. So you tend to think that she's the bigger person. So she's gonna have more advantages than Terry Harper. But also, probably would say Terry Harper is the more compact of the two in their styles. So I think Hannah Rankin gives you opportunities to catch her with, and so it's intriguing. But I think you have to favour Rankin for the size alone.
And then obviously moving on away from this week, Eddie I spoke to again today about Fury, AJ, what's going on there. I think Shane Fury said yesterday, I don't know, I haven't seen the interview myself, but from all the quotes I'm reading, and they may be taken out of advantage, but looks like they may be looking at Char now. I know George Warren is still fairly confident on negotiations and contract and broadcasting and everything that has to be done for that fight. Do we see it December 3rd, gut feeling?
No, gut feeling, no. But I've been in boxing long enough now to be pessimistic about any big fight being made. I just don't see it. I just don't. I think there's so much to organise in a short space of time for a fight of this magnitude, for the financial implications for everyone. And the biggest stumbling block has to be the broadcasters. And everyone's saying the same thing, but it's true. And also, I don't think it's a great move for Joshua. I think he needs to get a win to build that confidence again, like he did after the Ruiz fight. And cause that fight's always going to be there for him, isn't it? That's the truth.
Do you believe that, to an extent, if Joshua doesn't take the fight here, there'll be no other opportunity? That's what some people have been saying. That do you believe that if the fight doesn't happen here, that 1, 2, 3 years, there's still maybe a chance for Joshua to fight Tyson Fury?
Yeah, I think that fight's, as well as there's still as long as they're still both active in the sport, then that fight's always there. It's financially the biggest fight out there for either one. Even if they don't end up being, Joshua's not the best, not the second best, maybe not even the third best now in the world. Who knows? That's down to interpretation, but still. And Fury's clearly, for me, number one. And it's for almost everybody. So that's for the first time in a long time. That's been, we've always had our opinions, but it's been a clear cut now that Josh just moved away from that, those the two front runners. But financially, he's still a huge draw, still a big star. So it's always going to be a big money fight. It's always going to be there for him. That's why he should take a couple of fights and get warmed up.
Jr-Benn versus Chris Eubank Jr. We're closer and closer. Undercard was announced yesterday. Obviously, a fight. I suppose people are deeming it the trilogy. Conor comes up in weight. They go down to a catch weight. Obviously, Eubank's made a lot about the 60% sort of stuff. What do you make of it all? And is the weight depletion for Eubank too much?
It might be. Let's not forget though, when Chris Eubank boxed Liam Williams at middleweight, he weighed in with a pair of jeans and trainers and a watch bigger than me. So him making 160 is never. I don't think it's an issue. He's boxed at super middleweight, but he was never a super middleweight. And so he can make middleweight comfortable. So I think him coming down to 157, that's what they're talking about, which should be £3 below the middleweight limit. I don't think that's going to be an issue for him. Now, the rehydration clause might be a problem because if you got to weigh in, usually the rehydration clauses are usually like 8 o'clock in the morning. This is going to be more like 11ish, close to midday. That might be a problem. But he's still a bigger guy with more experience. He has a fantastic chin. He has his dad's chin, so he has to be a favourite. But Jr-Benn has that intangible thing of that will to win, that determination. He's an angry man, but he uses it to his advantage. He's not an angry man who gets wild and makes mistakes. He focuses that anger and becomes a better fighter when he is annoyed. So I think that you can't get the Eubank and Benn names. You can't get two better fits. Not just historically for British boxing, but I mean just personality-wise. Eubank winds at Benn like the dad, like the Eubank Senior one with the Benn Senior. It's the same with these two youngsters, but Benn angry is a more dangerous animal, so it doesn't hinder him. It helps him.
What is Ben's got a sort of path to victory? I say, is it sort of bruting out the first couple of rounds and coming in with those big sort of overhand looping hooks?
I think he has to fight at a high pace. I do. Being the smaller guy, you got to be buzzing around him. You got to try and hurt him. You got to make him feel the pace if you can. I think Eubank has always boxed at a tremendous pace, but it's at his pace. And also, recently, he's been with Roy Jones in his corner. He's slowed down a little bit. He's picking his shots a little bit more, so the punch output's not there like it used to be. So for me, Benn has to be very busy and has to try and hurt him. Maybe the body shots might come into play, but moving around that target when you're close for Benn will be important. Not allow Eubank to use that physical size to hold him or push him back. And certainly, don't let Eubank push you back. But it's a hard ask. He's got to try and hurt Eubank, and nobody has hurt him yet.
Well, Barry, thank you very much. A good 8.5 minutes wrapped up for Boxing Social. Just a final message. I put people on the spot there. Final message to the viewers.
Yeah, don't forget to vote for. I'm on X Factor next year. Don't forget to vote for me. I'll be singing Delilah.
Barry, top man. Thank you.